Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Pat Brock, and we've got a wonderful family in the studios with us. We've got the Robinsons. How are you all?
Wonderful.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
As you all know, we're having the opportunity to meet the head coaches and their families and talk about their lives and how they make it all work. So, Robinsons, thank you so much for taking the time out to speak with us today.
No problem.
All right, Coach, listen, tell us about how it all began for you, because we know that you're now coaching football and soccer.
Right.
Tell us how you started out, if you would.
I started out in 1995 at Truett Junior High School in Cleveland, Tennessee.
Now, did you play as well?
I played at Bradley Central and then walked on at Austin Peay State University.
Did you? And how was your experience as an athlete and then transitioning to a coach?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the games. Now I probably enjoyed practice more than the actual games, but I enjoyed playing on Friday night and the team aspect and everything like that. I just enjoyed it, and it kind of carried over. I went from Coach German was my middle school coach, and when I got done playing, I wanted to get into coaching, and I asked him if I could help out, and he said yes. So while I was finishing up college, he was letting me help him out on the junior high level.
Fantastic. Now, what brought you to Dublin?
My youngest son, Drew Robinson. My wife was, we were going to have our third child, and it was an opportunity. In Georgia, they pay a lot more than they do in Tennessee teachers. So it was an opportunity for her to stay home for a little while she raises Drew. And unfortunately, as a coach, she does more of the raising than I do as a parent.
Yeah.
And, it was just an opportunity for her to stay at home. I put out a lot of resumes, and it just God worked out to where Dublin, Georgia is where I showed up.
And we're so glad you showed up, Coach. All right, this beautiful lady to your right here, hi.
Hi.
Why don't you introduce yourself to everyone and tell us about you, if you would.
Hello, I'm Kristin Robinson, and I am also the daughter of a coach. My dad was a baseball, football, wrestling coach, so I was prepared for coaching life
early
as a
on,
little girl,
right?
yes. I teach kindergarten at East Lawrence Primary School, and I've been there for 6 years.
6 years, wonderful. Now, so you were a coach's daughter. Do you kind of see, we'll talk to your kids in just a little bit, do you kind of see how you were as a kid, and do you see any of that in your children as well, being children of coaches?
I remember sitting in the baseball stands in the cold weather. I remember I was a mat maid as a wrestler when I was 3 years old. I was a little mat maid cheerleader for the wrestling team. I remember all the football games, and that's exactly what our kids do.
Absolutely.
We drag them around from one event to the next.
Very good. Now, Coach, you say she does a lot of the raising. Now, tell us, how did you two meet?
Summer school at Cleveland State Community College.
Not because we failed.
Right. Trying to get ahead.
Yeah.
Right, and we took a summer school class, and she actually graduated from Lee University, which is in Cleveland.
Right.
And I graduated from Chattanooga. And we took a summer school class and met, and, we realized my dad was an elementary school principal. Her dad was an elementary school principal. My mom was a high school teacher. Her mom was a high school teacher. Our sisters are the exact same age.
Played ball against each other.
So even though we were brought up in the same town, we didn't meet until that summer of...
He was in the county system, and I was in the city system.
Right.
So we never met until 1996.
Until 1996. Was it love at first sight?
Without a doubt. Was that the right answer?
Sure.
You've trained them well. So now here you are, Coach. How long have you been coaching, and how do you, as a couple, still be able to have your date nights, even with your busy schedules?
Well, I don't do a very good job of that, and that's something we work on with two small kids now. It's tough, but we try to find time to have, during the season it's tough, but we try to find time to do things together. And we have, she enjoys watching football, luckily, and we'll spend Saturday afternoons watching football together.
Yeah, and good. And the thing is, when you have busy schedules, as you do, and most people out there watching do, you have to be able to find that time to have that quality time. And I think that what works for one couple may not work for the other. And as long as we as couples be able to find out what that works, what works and we make that happen. That's what's really important. And the fact that you two are still going strong and you got 3 children now.
Right.
Coach, tell us how your experience has been. Now, you've been coaching soccer and
Correct.
football,
Correct.
and now here you are, you're the head coach at East Lawrence. Tell us how that transition has been for you.
It's been really good. Even though we're in October, I still worry about how May's going to turn out because
Right.
we're going to be finishing soccer and starting football. But I figure I'll just let May worry about May, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But, I got really good kids on the football team.
Yeah.
I got good kids on the girls soccer team. And, when I started girls soccer 6 years ago, we didn't know how to win, or we were learning how to win.
Right.
Well, that's the same thing we're doing in football right now. We're learning how to win, learning how to compete.
Right.
And in girls soccer, we've won 3 region championships
Yes,
in a
you
row,
have.
and hopefully we'll have another successful year coming up.
Absolutely.
But we're trying to get to that point on the football side also.
Absolutely. And now, Kristin, how do you help in making sure that all of this works? Because, we talk about how we all have our busy lives. You're a school teacher. You're a wife. You're a mother. You have other things that are going on. How do you help manage everything?
She runs a taxi service a lot of times, going place to place.
That's one of her many hats she wears.
That's
Yes.
true. It's much easier now that the kids are older.
Yeah.
When we moved here, Drew was 3 months old, and
wow.
Grace was 2.5. It was harder then.
Yeah.
They were very dependent, and he was not home much at all.
Right.
So it was much harder when they were younger. Now that they're older, they're more independent, and they can do more, and it's much easier. The oldest one is driving, so we have him
Taxi
taking
service?
Yes, he helps with soccer games
Right.
and things like that. We don't have any family in town.
Okay.
We're blessed to have a fabulous church family, and I have had to call on them a few times
Good.
to pick somebody up. But it's much easier now that they're older.
Absolutely. And that's with a lot of things. And, now that you've got your own other taxi service, kids don't realize when they get their license, it comes with a price.
Absolutely.
Running errands.
Absolutely.
And walk us through game day for you all. Game day from the, we talked with the coaches and we asked the wife the same question as we asked the husband. What is game day like for you?
Well,
Coach?
for me, big thing for me is I like to get at school at 7:10, and I like to have a quiet time with do my devotion at school, as nobody's on campus yet, and that's just an opportunity to have a quiet time to talk to God and share my concerns and things like that. And then we'll go through a normal day, and about third period is my planning. Well, that's when I do a lot of the itinerary to schedule the day for the kids and things like that.
Right.
And then, after school, we'll take the kids to a church, and the church will feed them and give them a devotion and things that, means a lot to the kids and means a lot to me also. And
Absolutely.
Don Wood and Kim Kennedy do a great job of getting those organized. And it means a lot to the kids, but also the churches, we never fail to have a date not covered. The people on the east side really support this team and things like that.
And that's such a blessing to have that kind of community support and have the church's support. And Coach, how big is it that your faith has to play a part in what you do?
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
I've been a Christian. I was fortunate enough to be raised in a Christian home, and God's really, He's led us to Dublin, Georgia. For whatever reason, I'm a part of FCA at the school, which is Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and it's just a big part of my life, and trying to follow the way that God wants me to go.
Amen. Wonderful. Kristin, the same questions to you.
Game day. Well, we go to work, first of all, so I have to work all day and teach my little kindergartners. And then afterwards, I take the 2 little ones and we eat, because they have to eat before they go to the game. And then we make sure that they're all in their East Lawrence stuff, and we also have to make sure that they're not wearing the colors of the opposing team,
Right.
which is sometimes that's happened in the past, and I don't want that to happen. So
Right.
I make sure everybody's dressed in appropriate colors. And this year, Drew is the ball boy, so I make sure that he gets there on time to be the ball boy. Gracie does her cheer stuff, and of course, Bryce is playing. So I don't worry about Bryce, he's playing. But when I go to the game, I sit down in the corner as far away from everybody else as I can. So I'm down there by myself, and sometimes yell a little bit.
Do you? Do you?
Yeah.
I believe you got a little of that in you. I think with you being having been a coach's daughter as well as being married to a coach, that's been ingrained within you for years.
Lots of cheering in my history.
Look at this cheerleader you got here. And so tell us, Kristin, how big a part does your faith play in your whole family dynamics?
Well, I was actually also blessed to be raised in a Christian home. That's kind of what we know.
Yeah.
And we came here with we didn't know anybody except for he had contact with Coach Holmes because of the job. But we came without knowing anyone, but we really felt like this is where God wanted us to be. And there have been times that me more than him, have said, we need to go back. We need family to help us.
Right.
But in the past, we've been here 10 years, and we've grown closer as a couple, and we've also grown closer to God because of we don't have that family to fall back on.
Right.
It's us and God.
We
Amen.
have to lean on each other.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Right.
And so if a person watching this show, if there was one thing that you would want them to gather from you all as a family unit about you, what would that be, Coach?
I think that, we try to do what God wants us to do, and it's not always easy, but we try to do what God wants us to do.
Amen. What about you, Kristin?
And we make mistakes every day, but we know that God's grace is new every morning.
Amen.
And we just try to do the best we can.
Absolutely, as do we all. And so it's such a pleasure meeting you both, to actually sit down with both of you together and just to talk to you in this manner. We're going to get a chance to talk with your kids in just a moment. Thank you so much, Kristin, for joining us. Coach, we'll be back with you and your son, Bryce, in just a moment.
All right.
We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with Coach Robinson, and now we have his oldest son with us. How are you?
I'm good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, talk to us a little bit about you, if you would.
Well, I am a junior at East Lawrence High School, and I play football for my father, and I play soccer.
How does it feel playing football for your father?
Well, there's definitely a lot of pressure to do what I'm supposed to do on the field, and if I screw up, I can expect to hear about it
All night long.
all night long, practicing in the games.
Coach, how is it for you? You've been coaching for a long time, but now to have your son, to be coaching your son, what has that experience been like for you?
I was really nervous because I didn't know how that would react. And, sometimes in this job, you kind of take things home with you sometimes, and I didn't want to do that. But luckily for me, I've got a son that works hard, that does the right thing in the classroom, works hard on the practice field and the weight room. So, he does a good job, and he's one of the leaders on the football team, which makes my life easier.
Absolutely.
I have to yell at him sometimes to do the right thing. I try to treat him like everybody else, but he is my son.
Yeah. Is that hard for you sometimes?
No, not really. I mean, he works hard, so all I'm asking for the kids to work hard, and we'll correct the things on the, if they're flying around 100%,
Right.
then I can live with that. We can correct the mistakes, but when they're not giving effort, that's when I have a problem. And Bryce, he gives effort.
Absolutely, and I can attest to that. From being on the soccer field, great soccer player as well. Bryce, have you always played football? Because your dad played football. Do you feel like you were influenced by your father to play the game of football?
Oh, I haven't always played football. I started playing football. I tried to play in the recreational department. It wasn't really my thing then.
Yeah.
And then I played my 8th grade year, and that was when I really decided, all right, I can do this. I can play. This is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And it's just...
He's soccer.
Yeah.
He likes
soccer.
soccer. That's the first thing. And he got started in weightlifting in middle school, and he kind of got some confidence with that, and kind of spilled over to the football field. Am I right?
Yeah.
But his first love soccer.
First love is soccer. Very good. Now, Bryce, we're talking to your parents about how you know, with everyone's busy schedule, how do you find time for family time? What is the most fun you have with your family? What things are you doing when you consider having the most fun?
Probably, like they were saying earlier, watching the football games on Saturday. We all get around and cheer and boo and piss and holler, even though we're not actually there, and it's really fun.
So just being able to be together as family is special for you.
Yes, ma'am.
And you know, your parents talked about how important their faith is. That helps keep you all as a family going. Do you feel the same way?
I do.
And what's your personal experience with that?
It's just a real blessing to grow up having two parents that are godly and good Christians, and they always know how to help me if I'm struggling, and they're always there for me and able to pray for me, and it's really a blessing.
That really is. Now, here you are, you're the big brother.
Yes, ma'am.
I just found out today that you have younger siblings. I had no idea. What type of example do you set for them, Bryce, being their big brother, and knowing how your father's schedule is sometime where you don't always have a lot of time together sometimes?
Well, it's really hard to be an example for Grace, being she's a girl. But I always try and let her know that even though I'm going to pick on her and poke at her, that I do love her and I do care about her.
It's just part of it.
Yes, ma'am. And then Drew, I always try to be there for his athletic events, his soccer games, basketball games, all that kind of stuff. And I like to go outside and throw the football around in the yard and stuff with him, and just let him know that I'm proud of him for being an athlete and for competing and giving all the effort he has.
Absolutely. And we'll get to meet them in just a moment. When you're listening to your son talk like this, what are you thinking about?
I'm just very proud. You know, he's a good young man. Does he make mistakes? Sure.
Right.
But, you know, I'm very proud of, not just on the field, but, you know, he's dual enrollment, taking college classes, and as a junior, and he does a really good job, and took the SAT and did a real good job on that. So just very proud of it.
Very good. And we're proud of you as well. Now, Bryce, if you could think of one thing that you have learned from your dad that you tend to live by, what would that be?
Well, at football, he always tells us there's two things you can control, and that's your attitude and your effort. And I think that, not just in football, not just in soccer or any sport, in life, there's those two things that you can 100% always have control of, and I always try and keep that mindset as I'm going through my daily life.
Very good. And what's next for you? Now, you're a junior. You got your senior year. Are you wanting to pursue sports in college, or?
I would like to.
Soccer? Is it soccer?
Yes. Well, anything that comes to me, I'll accept. Like if I get offered a scholarship for football, I'd go.
Yeah.
But soccer is what I'm trying to do.
That's what it's, soccer. And what position are you in soccer?
Anything.
Anything.
I can play anywhere.
You can play anywhere. That's
Yes,
impressive.
ma'am.
Quite impressive.
Yes,
Now, we heard that you all are Tennessee fans. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, you know, 'cause you all are from Tennessee originally, correct? And so you're transplanted Georgians.
Right.
Well, we're glad to have you here. So thankful. Thank you so much for talking to us, Bryce. Now, we're going to talk to your younger brother and sister and just see just what type of big brother you are.
Right.
Is that cool?
I hope so.
All right, we'll be back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and we've got the younger two of the Robinsons with us. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey. Now, listen, we're going to start with you over there, young lady. Why don't you introduce yourself to everybody and tell us all about you, okay? And
Hi.
Drew, you listen to her, okay, so that you can follow suit.
Hi, I'm Grace. I'm 11 years old. I go to East Lawrence Middle School, and I'm a cheerleader.
Cheerleader. Now, Grace, tell them about how you and I first met.
I was in 3rd grade, and I was in the lunchroom eating, and we always have music playing in the lunchroom. And she comes in, and me and my friends start dancing with her. And
Who knew? We just started, I mean, it was so much fun getting to visit your school like that, and then knowing that you guys eat and listen to music. How cool is that? It's good to see you again.
Good to see you.
All right, young man, are you ready? All right, talk to us.
I'm 9 years old. My name is Drew. I was born in Tennessee. I lived there for 3 months, and I'm very committed to sports.
You're very committed to sports. That's a big word. So you're from Tennessee 3 months, and so you packed up and moved to Georgia. Do you like being in Georgia? It's all right.
This is kind of big, but like there's the ups and downs. The downs are because when I go to my classroom every day, everybody's saying, "Oh, Georgia's gonna beat Tennessee this year."
I know, right? And you're like, who wants to hear that?
And then the ups are that I've made a lot of friends.
There you go. There you go. That's good. That's good that you've got a lot of friends. It's unfortunate that they're more Georgia fans than Tennessee fans, right? All right. Now, Coach, these are two of your little pride and joys here.
Right.
How do you make time with these two, Coach?
Well, for example, Drew enjoys sports. He enjoys soccer. He played golf this summer.
Wow.
What else do you do? Baseball. Anything else?
Playing football next year.
Playing football next year. So
Nice.
he's very active in sports. And one thing that I enjoy doing is during the summer when the schedule's kind of slow, we go and play 18 holes of golf.
18?
Yes. And
You don't have to take a break or anything, Drew? You just play 18 holes?
he needs a
Sometimes-
snack.
Yeah. Sometimes we might stop by like. Sometimes they have concession stands
Yes.
out or something.
Yes.
And we'll go by and get something to eat and drink.
Now, do you walk the course or do you like to ride in the cart?
Mostly we ride in the cart.
I always ride the cart.
Me too.
We're not walkers. It's
Me
too hard.
either. I've got the little pusher, little Callaway thing, but I never use it. I get in there and ride.
We ride.
What do you like to do with your dad, dear?
We always go to the daddy-daughter dance every year.
Oh my gosh. How fun is that? Do you feel like a princess? So apparently you like to dance. You like to dance. Very good. Now listen, you two. We've been talking with your big brother, and we talked to your mom about how much they love football and how they support your dad. Now, do you two love football just as much?
Yes.
Not you, huh? What do you love more than anything?
Reading.
Reading. And what type books do you like to read?
Fiction books.
Really? So when you have downtime, you'll read. What book are you reading right now?
Book Scavenger.
Really?
I just started it, so I don't really know what's it about.
And what grade are you in?
6.
6th grade. And you're a 4th grader, right? Now, I told you off the set that, I won my 4th grade spelling bee. So that's like one of my favorite grades of all times. Are you enjoying the 4th grade? You are? What do you like doing at school?
Most of the time it's either PE or recess, but sometimes it's learning about social studies and science.
Really? Okay, so of course PE and recess are always at the top of our list, right? And science and social studies. So you consider yourself, you're pretty smart, aren't you, Drew? Where do you think you get that from?
It's probably both ways.
Yeah?
They're
Well, that
both
was kind.
teachers.
You get it from your parents and from your teachers there. You got really good teachers? All right, very good. Now, Coach, here you are. You've been coaching for many years. You've got a son who's a high schooler, and now you've got 2 little ones. Man, oh man.
Busy.
Busy. Because, it's more to it than just you coaching and teaching. You've got, as he's speaking, ladies and gentlemen, his kids are involved in a lot of activities. And as a parent, trying to make sure that you are as active as possible, it does require some juggling, doesn't it?
Right. I mean, our time is valuable, and we have to use it as best we can.
Now, okay, kids, we're going to ask you, when you guys get to go do something fun, your mom and your brother were talking about you guys like to watch football on Saturday. Do you like to go places? Where do you like to go for fun?
I really enjoyed when we went to Disneyland.
Oh my gosh, I bet that was so much fun. Do you remember did you ride the things and stuff?
Yeah.
I went to Disney World when I was in the 5th grade. And I remember so many things about that. What about you, young lady?
Well, I like to go to the
beach.
You're a beach. I believe it. You probably, when you get older, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go to the beach, right? You're going to have your nice beach hat. You're going to have your swimsuit, and you're going to lie on the beach, and you're going to read. Right? You're going to be reading on the beach.
That's what I do already.
That's what you do. I heart you. And Dad, you know, just listening to your kids, they all have their own personality.
Without a doubt.
I mean, they're so different. And here she is. She's like, not me, not football, reading. And so how is it for you guys having a dad who coaches football? What do you think about that? Drew?
It's very fun because then I get either way, since being I'm the ball boy, I get to go to all the games.
All the games, absolutely. And you're the ball boy. Are you excited about that? You know people are watching you, right? Very good. All right. Well, listen, it's been a pleasure meeting you two. Dad, thank you for sharing your kids with us and allowing us to meet your beautiful wife. Any last words for you, Coach Robinson?
Like to thank the East Lawrence community.
Absolutely. And, you know, we're thankful for the East Lawrence community for all the support that they give to you all, to your family, to the team. Thank you for everything that you all do, Coach, everything that you have done for the kids and everything that you're continuing to do.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Drew. Grace, read on, darling. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you've enjoyed today's program with the Robinsons, just to kind of see what type family they are. And they've already said that their faith is what keeps them strong and keeps them together. All right. That's all the time we have for Real Talk. And ladies and gentlemen, please keep watching.